Taking on tour again. We're off on an adventure. Where are we going? Nobody knows. But we've got a stack full of tools, injection lines, and we're off to the hedge. Tank. So behind me is a Chieftain main battle tank, and today's my birthday and I want to do something different, so we thought, you know what, that abandoned old tank that's up here, will it actually start? Like, there is trees and bush growing out of the driver's compartment. In fact, they're brambles. That's worse. Trees would be better. So the story of this is, no one's been in the engine bay since 2009, and she last ran many years before then. Supposedly has a drive issue and doesn't drive, but we've brought the toolbox. We ain't just gonna get it running. There is an off-road course there that she's going around, whether she likes it or not. We also have Hollybones. It's going around whatever happens. Here it comes. A train from our abandoned tank.
Cheering us on.
Cheering us on. Some motivation we need. Man, there's some stuff like that still. What? So there is an engine, Josh, which is what we were told. There is an engine. Well, there is one missing.
There's a hole for an engine as well.
Then there is a gearbox. Wrong decks. She's been converted to late decks, but we'll talk about that later. Now I feel like we're gonna have to replace the radiator stay. I don't know how I feel about the Josh, could you get a better angle on that?
I think, yeah, hang on, there we go. Yes, I think that is fairly solid. Let me just test it.
Oh no.
No, okay, it's not.
She's been it's that long, the wood's rotten.
It's gone.
Oh,
it's really gone. What about the actual stay? Shall we try the actual stay?
Yeah, right.
Oh. In fact, the end of the stay is still connected. It is still on. The two ends of the stay are still connected.
Therefore, she has a radiator stay.
It's safe.
It's safe.
It's safe.
Let's start. So, deck's off, Josh. Grab a deck and throw it.
I ain't that strong.
They don't go with it though.
No, that's the bit I'm terrified of. The picking up and the picking it up is not the problem, it's the letting go.
They're actually surprisingly heavy.
Yeah. If I scratch the paint, is it a problem?
I haven't hit it yet.
These ones I'm terrified of.
What?
They're fucking heavy.
Which ones?
Gearbox.
Yeah. How come? Can I have all of your decks as well?
Two. You had two of mine.
Oh.
you had an end one, and
These will fold over, they've got one pin.
yeah, these ones don't, but they won't flop over because they've actually got a stop on this one. Oh, there's some spiders in there. Jump back to A-roll. There's still insects there. They're running away. They didn't like the sun.
That's quite cobwebby.
It's quite cobwebby. We need Josh.
Josh, you need to get in here, mate. Ashley would love it. So first look in to this oily, messy hole. He's right, we are missing some injector lines and they don't look pretty. The throttle is C solid, and so is the stop control.
He's in his hole. Get on. I'm gonna get this other radiator up. If I can, with one hand. No, I'm gonna have to pop you down. Probably get lots of wind facing this way though. Old type fuel fillers.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think the colours put this pipe on. Oh, I don't. It's not too bad. Already got one more off.
Yeah. The piece of paper that tells this engine's history.
Yep.
So, showing off to the camera, and all these ticks are modifications that have been done to it. And there's 2 pages.
I'm not saying the L60 was a bad engine.
No, but they may have not got it right the first time.
No, but they were good at the end.
So this is the other side of the engine. Oil filters, fuel filters, another type of oil filter. Airbox with my feet on it. That is bigger than most engine bays. And tucked under here, anyone who's familiar with Chieftains or L60s knows, there is a honking great big supercharger.
So the L60 engine, built by Leyland in these tanks, isn't fantastic, as Josh said with the modification records. And they... Yeah. As Josh showed you the modification records earlier, they had many. So what we want to do is make sure that the governor is working correctly, so the engine doesn't run away, because it will. And that, because we've had injection lines off this bump, that no water's got in and just seized her all up. So to all the ejector lines off the top of the injection pump, all 12, because she's 2 injector per cylinder. And we're going to give her some fuel and then get Josh to do some gardening and see if we can get in the driver's compartment and see what's in there. Hopefully a start barrel, to be fair. And start turn her over and see if we get some diesel out the injection pump, and will it turn off when we ask it to turn off and stop pumping or not. Right, out she comes.
I have to get it over.
It's probably enough what we want.
Yeah.
Right.
In the hole I go.
You've now got to go in there.
Yeah. And not pull it down on my head. There you go. It's there. It looks like a little bit of oil on that rotor there. I don't know if you can get the camera in to see it. Not massives.
Doesn't look full of water though.
No. Yeah, no, it's not full of water, which is a good start.
Here that Josh has failed to notice all that dust and grit in the supercharger.
It's a pretty big supercharger when you think. That's my fingers. So there's nothing untoward making me think that it's seized.
So I've got Josh down in the other side hole where I was when I was taking the injection pipes off, just to get a better look down the bottom. There he is.
I don't quite fill the hole.
No.
I fill half the hole.
I fill all of it and a little bit more.
Yeah.
The injection pump rack is seized solid, and water has gone down the delivery valves and into the injection pump because it's had injection lines off for like 20 years.
Good news.
Good news is we do not give up easier.
I fit in the hole.
Yeah. Good news, we don't give up easy. Josh fits in the hole.
And I've taken off injection pumps in tight space.
And Josh is my go-to enclosed space injection pump remover.
Remember when I had a
He's been in some places getting injection pumps off for us before. He's the man for the job, so I'm going to leave him with the camera quickly while he assesses the situation. I've now got to go quickly and upload Tinkering Tuesday, which you're about to see, which is the final part of rebuilding Deborah's final drive. All systems go here at Tinkering HQ.
Aaron showed, I'll say, it was missing 4 injection lines. They are a complicated injection pump to begin with because, as you said, they're hydraulic governed. There's a pot with the hydraulic oil in it. There is a filter in there, by the way. We think the throttle cable is itself is seized. I'll jump in the driver's compartment at some point and put my foot on the throttle. But that is the end of the rack. There should be a little cover over them, over that, and if I try and prop the torch somewhere, that is seized. There should be a little cover over that with a nut, kind of like a rounded rectangle, sits like that. So that should move, and it really isn't. So that's injection pump off. We failed at, well, it should be the second hurdle. The first hurdle is does it turn over, but we got excited, came in here, and we found a problem already. Typical us. Here's a long old injection pump. Say 12 cylinders. It's like my forearm, my elbow's at the end. I'm about number 12. And then the governor. It's a long old thing. However, as Aaron was saying, I have taken off injection pumps in situ before. Not on an L60, but there's a CET in our yard that only runs because I managed to get that off. And anyone who's worked on them knows A, how, and B, why. As I did have a turbocharger on my shoulder. In fact, that was so cramped when the injection pump came off, all the diesel came out of it and went into my shoe. The shoe didn't come home. But we need to get started. Luckily Aaron's taken all the injection lines off, so I need to disconnect all the little pipes. So leak off pipes. Actually oil pipe. No, open return. That one is, isn't it? Return, but the governor, oil pipe. There is actually oil. It is oil fed, which is this pipe here. So that needs to come off. Throttle cable, pull that off, and its bracket. Actually, the drive coupling is in here. 4 mountain bolts, 2 there, 2 up at the top here. And yeah, I need to make a start. 7 o'clock update. It's starting to get dark. We've got a couple of hours maybe, or an hour or so. It's starting to get actually quite dark in here though. It's not been too long since I've last seen you. Maybe 10-15 minutes or so. Happy Tinkering Tuesday as well to those who, it may have gone out at this point, it may not have. It should have. Some of these pipes are off. That one, that's a oily pipe, if I remember rightly. That's a diesely pipe, which is, I say, comes from the end here, so you can stay on, and the end there. That tees to that and goes underneath. I'm guessing diesel, maybe oil, doesn't matter, it's off. Throttle is off, so you can now fully see that isn't seized, but as it's hydraulic, isn't really actually connected to anything. They feel the same, like always. That's a box of magic. Throttle cable is in the darkness here. Let's see if I can. Okay. That is quite stuck. So I don't think I need to try the throttle pedal today. Stop control off, and I found this. Anyone who has served on Chieftains knows what that is for. That tells me something. It tells me the stop solenoid doesn't work. The pull-on's failed. Ugh.
Oh.
Oil in that governor.
What?
The oil in that governor.
Yeah.
I don't think it's kept the rain out.
No.
Checking the, just filming it as I do it. In fact, I don't think there's much oil in there at all. Just mud.
Oh.
Which is less than ideal.
That's less than ideal, Josh.
It is less than ideal. Good job, we didn't try and start it up. That is now all unbolted. I think. It does wobble. It's also quite heavy, so I'm going to see if I can put you down somewhere where you A, can see, B, I don't clout it, and C, so I've got both hands. On that rod. Come off. There we go. I think I have an answer. Whoa. Heavy enough. Oh. Not really heavy, but it's a big old injection pump.
Back down in the workshop with our injection pump. Is looking a little worse for wear. So you'll notice we've got 12 delivery outlets, not 6 for our 6-cylinder engine. And that is because we run 2 injectors per cylinder. So our first job is going to be to drop this front cover off, and let's have a look at the rack and see how crusty it is in there.
Yeah. Got a new toy.
We have got a new toy. We've treated ourselves to a little 3.8 Milwaukee Impact. She's slow.
We're in like week filming.
So off comes the cover. That's not good. That is not good. So, slight change. We have decided that it's been a couple of months since we did anything on this project. We got waylaid with Project ChAVRE and behind the scenes on that. Injection pump. It's different. This is one we can throw on and to get it off the field before it gets too wet. And also rebuilding the other injection pump will make quite a nice Tinkering Tuesday and how they work and what they do. It's cold. It's like -1.
Raining.
It's raining.
Has been.
Or yeah, has been. It's not at the minute. It's dark outside and in the middle of a windy field with no shelter. So it's not been very fun. we'll get this on, and then in daylight, we'll start it in daylight, so you'll see more of that a bit easier later on in the video. But we'll show you how to time it. How do you spill time an injection pump for when the timing lines aren't worth anything? Because, well, you've just seen a struggle to time a meteor. Well, not struggle, but the struggles of timing a meteor. And, well, this pump, someone's given it a second line. So, which line is it? Nobody knows. So let's make a start, let's get up there. There's probably some water on the camera so I don't know what you can see, but we're now back up to time the injection pump in and get it on. Josh managed to get it on last night. It's like minus numbers and snowing. Wind. Weather app reckons it feels like minus 10. I think it's lying, I think it's like minus 30. Oh, right, we'll join you up there. So timing it, Chieftain wise, to really turn it over, the engine over by hand with the top T-piece on, you've got to go underneath, which is going to be quite bleak in this weather. It's wet underneath. I brought myself a wind block. That sounds like it's about to die. And then Josh is going to be up the top, and he'll talk you through the timing lines and trying to get them to line up on the top crank. And why we say there's a top crank.
Injection pump is bolted in, and as Aaron said, top and bottom timing is done off the top crank, or the exhaust crank. And so my little plate is there, tells me 16 degrees, because the crankshaft's actually at the top. Well, one of them is, and so there's one down the bottom as well, because it's an opposed engine. I've got my little needle there, well, little reedy needle, that's my pointer. Aaron's gone underneath, so he'll hopefully turn the engine over for me. To get that to line up, and then I've got to mess around with the injection pump to spill time it, but I say I'll show you that off once we've got the engine in the right place.
This wet, cold, damp tank dripping on me everywhere, and it's hard to see, but my flywheel is in there, and what I'm going to be doing is just taking the bar in here and then turning it around so Josh can line the marks up. It's got a bit darker, got a bit colder. We brought some reinforcements. Now got a brace of Josh's. We went all the way around on the flywheel, on that top mass pulley, and hoping to find some timing lines. We didn't find them. We're now back at it again with a wire brush, as you'll see. Hopefully this time we find some. We're looking for 16 degrees. So Josh has turned underneath now. I give him a rag to lay on, and then another rag because that one's a bit damp, and he's decided to lay on that rag and use that one as a bit of a duvet cover. It works, it works. It's fucking cold up here. I've got Josh out on the wire brush. BV's there because we're pansies. So every now and again we can get in and have a warm up. So it's now like -5. So we're going to admit slight defeat and bring in the big guns. Not ideal, I know. We did what I set up in the hedge, but we've got a big old wrecker that makes a lot of noise. Let's. Poor old Josh here is trying to get to the holly bones, and he's trying to.
I'm trying to defrost the strop.
You are. As I'm sitting here editing this video, I'm wondering why on earth is he defrosting the strop? I'm not sure, but I shall ask him. When I see.
It's not going to crack that fast. Should be alright.
So there she is. Let's pull it down. The ground's probably hard enough now that we won't make too much of a mess. We'll meet you up there. but let's see how we get on. I'm expecting it to be problematic. It's still quite muddy in that corner there, and that thing weighs more than I do.
Only about a little bit.
However, the old mighty Militant, no cans of Easy Start on this morning. Fired up a treat. So we're currently dropping a little bit of air pressure out the tyres, see if we can get a bit more traction. Annoyingly, the wettest, muddiest bit in this field is the gateway. And unfortunately, this is the bit I have to turn. To come out through the gate. So we knew this bit was going to be problematic.
Attempt number 2, we've now dropped the tyre pressures. Hopefully she can crawl her way out. If not, we're going to have to drop it off and winch it through this little bit.
So that hasn't quite gone to plan. We are going to attempt to winch it to us a little bit. The problem we got is the land. We'll show you. I've got to go through this and this muddy hole and turn. Not ideal, but that's the only way to get through this gateway. So we're going to set Millie back, drop the anchor, and let's winch her through this muddy bit and assess and go from there. I think it's probably our best option. So, how do we hold the... You see us winch the last Chieftain actually. So this one's a little different. We're on mud and stuff, so we can actually use some more of the tackle to help hold us still. So on the back of the Militant, we've got the winch plough. If Josh takes the pin out, I've got this lever here to control it. Oh, R-clip. So we can drop him down. So that will now dig in as we come backwards. And we'll get our winch line out of here. So on the back of the lorry, I don't know what the sun's like, probably not brilliant, we're up a field. This is where the winch rope pays out and swivels to allow you to winch different angles. So if Josh drops the pin out, that'll now swivel round to whatever angle we've got. We're going to need some winch line out now, Josh, aren't we? yesterday my battery died, so you didn't quite see us come down this trackway on the video, but we did make it down. Made it through here in the... Made it through that gateway in the end, and we just dug some impressive ruts down here really. And we ran the BV up and down a few times just to even out some of the ruts we made. Right, let's take a walk down to the Chieftain. So here it is, parked beside the ChAVRE. So that is the first mark of Chieftain beside the last mark of Chieftain. We've got a Mark 1 next door to an ChAVRE, which I think is pretty special. But drop us down in the comments. You saw us tow it out, failed to get it started up in the field, and then failed to tow it down nicely. Just still want to see it start up, because it's 60 years of Chieftain next year, so we're 60 years the first Chieftain coming to service next year. So as you can tell, we're doing a bit of a special for Chieftains. You guys are helping us restore the ChAVRE. We're going to do the Mark 1, and then we'll have our Mark 8 Chieftain Sid. Well, she runs anyway, but we're going to do a few extra little bits to that and really do something special. Do you still want to see a bit of a series on the Mark 1 Chieftain as well? See you guys in the next one.